Right, weight gain, mood swings, sleep issues. You can see why it may be a stretch for some to connect menopause with the word enjoy, but that's exactly what Suzanne Somers is doing. Her new book is titled I'm Too Young for This, The Natural Hormone Solution to Enjoy Perimenopause. Suzanne is here now to talk about this. You've been talking about bioidentical hormones and menopause and all the important things to keep you healthy through age. This is more about perimenopause.
Right. Well, you know, my publishing house, Crown Publishing, I was having dinner with the publisher one evening, and she said, you need to write a book for perimenopause. I said, well, I'm so exhausted, the hormone thing. Yeah. She said, in the office, we're from 35 to 50, and we were too young when you first started writing about hormones, she said, and none of us feel right. And when I started really researching perimenopause, you realize it's our most dangerous passage that doctors don't pay much attention to because we're surging. One day your estrogen's real high, one day your progesterone's all over the place.
So let's talk about, I mean, for some people don't even know what it is.
Right, okay.
So perimenopause is the period before menopause.
It's now a 10-year period before menopause. Now, it used to be that women would go into perimenopause around 45, 48, 50 even, would last a couple of years, and then you'd transition into menopause. Now it's starting, most of the time around age 35, accelerated by toxins and stress.
And some don't even know why, right?
They don't know why.
They're not sure of these symptoms that they're experiencing.
And it takes the form of weeping for no reason. Do you remember, like, when you're a teenager, you have raging hormones. Yeah. So that's how you can identify it the best. Like, you just break down and cry, or you just couldn't handle things. You're on overload all the time, and mood swings. And for perimenopausal women, the bloating is a big sign. The itch you might have on your leg or your arm or wherever, headaches. And what I lay out in this book, I loved writing this book. And if anybody who doesn't understand the hormonal system, you will understand it when you finish this book.
Well, and it is different because you even said, oh, haven't I kind of exhausted the hormone thing? But this is the application into perimenopause, which is very different.
Right, and there's a language. If you're itching, that means you don't have enough progesterone. If you've got a headache or migraines, you don't have enough estrogen. If you're bloating, your estrogen-progesterone ratio is off. If you don't have a sex drive, it's because you've declined in estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Without your sex hormones, a woman can't feel sex. So therefore, then she thinks he doesn't turn her on anymore, and you know, you might go outside and look for it somewhere else. I mean, it can be so destructive. And when you put back, it's like if the oil in your car was low, you would of course know to put it back. If you put it back as per a blood test, and you can find out where to get blood tests and go to SuzanneSomers.com. It's like filling the tank, and it's like putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. Now, you and I both had cancer. I believe if I had known then what I know now, that I wouldn't have gotten it. And I'll tell you why.
Because of things being out of whack. Because this is the compass. This is the balance that you talk about in the book.
Exactly. At age 40, I couldn't sleep. I was bloated. My mood was bad. I lost interest in sex, and I just didn't know what that went on for 3 years. And that's because my estrogen was so high, and I was not making any progesterone at that time. That's what young women usually drain out of first. Now, estrogen is carcinogenic. Progesterone is anti-carcinogenic. That's what nature set up for us. It's just like nature is perfection. If you don't have the anti-carcinogenic component of your hormonal song, then that goes out of control. The cancer component can go crazy. If someone had understood at that time that all I needed at that time was to replace the missing progesterone, I probably wouldn't have grown 10 years later, at age 50, they discovered this large tumor. And I remember the doctor saying, well, for it to be this large, it's probably been growing about 10 years. Bingo. Wow. When did I start declining in hormones? At 40. My tumor shows up at 50 at a dangerous state. So I think if you're not understanding why you don't feel like sex, and why you're bloated, and why you can't sleep, and why your body aches, and why you've got migraine headaches, it's all in this book, and it can be life-changing for you.
And before I let you go, you're well. You're healthy.
Perfectly well.
I mean, obviously you look great.
I feel great.
And you never lose the passion for the writing, and you never slow down.
Well, I think because I'm on hormones, my brain is contrary to popular thinking, I have a very good brain, and it's working at optimum. But you know, hormones are misunderstood in the medical community, and I don't know why I'm the messenger, but I am.
Well, you are, and also in this book, which we don't have to talk in depth, but you talk about superfoods, which is also part of the diet.
Such a big
and the intake. Yep.
Diet is crucial. Also, if you go to SuzanneSomers.com, not to be blatantly commercial, but I think we should worry about cell phones. And a scientist, David Schmidt, has created this nanotechnology chip. It's under $50, and you put it between your cell phone and your cell phone case, and it will protect you by electromagnetic radiation by 98%. So just go click on Matrix on Suzanne Somers and read about it and see all the research. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't slow down. Thank you for coming in.
I hope not.
Always great to have you in,
Always
Suzanne.
great
Take
to
care.
see you, Beverly.